Key, the chord diagrams, tablature, notation, they all give varying amounts of information about the music. Here, I just want to demonstrate something about the frequency ratios. The notes are specific frequencies, 82, 123, etc. The intervals are the ratios of one frequency relative to another. Close up, the perfect fifth, 3:2. The squiggly equal sign means approximately equal to allow for equal temperament. The octave, 2:1. And here's a major third, 5:4. And now the concept I'm going to demonstrate here requires natural ratios. The difference from equal temperament are simply too small to be visualized. However, keep in mind that you can hear the difference. You can look that stuff up under microtonality and just intonation. The standard 12-tone equal-tempered guitar strikes a balance between the equal divisions of the octave and the natural harmonic vibrations of the string. So on these equal-tempered guitars, you can see here that the frets are separated by the same ratio throughout the fretboard. And on the other hand, the just or ideal ratios are the simple whole number ratios, which originally at least derived from the harmonic series as the string vibrates. Now the most important of these intervals are the octave and the fifth. The octave approximately at the 12th fret and the fifth approximately at the 7th and 19th frets. Now here's a just perfect fourth between the 5th and 6th string. There's a perfect fifth between the open string and the 7th fret, and an octave between the open string and the 12th fret. Equal temperament, or equal division of the octave, uses an entirely different mathematical formula than the just or ideal ratios. It blends and balances different properties to get reasonably close to the just or natural intervals of a vibrating string. Now, I'm going to represent those same ideal ratios in the sound wave imagery using its fundamental elements, points of increased air pressure over time. Now, the length of the line here represents one repetition of the ratio pattern, and the points along it represent an increase over normal air pressure. The frequency is in hertz, that's cycles per second, so if we're talking about the open A string in standard tuning, the line is 1/110th of a second. Here, the points of higher pressure are measured out along the line in sequence. You may note that for the most part, the more complex ratios include the less complex within them. One exception would be the major third. You'll be able to see that next. Basic patterns, they'll radiate outward from the source in spherical waves. This is a bit too much radiation here. I'm going to do it singly one at a time. Here's the fundamental by itself. The fundamental and its octave at the same time. They may not need to be precisely aligned. The mind just might need to decide its most likely interpretation. That would be neuroscience and psychological acoustics, all beyond me. Now, a triad chord would require two intervals. That'd be at least 3 strings, and presumably that would be differentiated by different strengths, which I can't represent here. But anyway, if all you have to work with is change of pressure over time, this seems a good way to represent the ratios. All the pressure variations, however they're represented, are moving outward from the source at the same speed. In air, that's about 343 meters per second. And if a frequency is sharp, that means the pressure variations are too close together, and the frequency of repetition is too high. And if they're too far apart, too low and flat, you'll be out of tune either way. However, if a note is marked A sharp or B flat, say, it's intentional. It's an enharmonic. It's just designed to keep the letters in sequence.